Yeah, so originally, this film, Roadmap to Apartheid from 2012, it was part of a lineup at our Cine Club at the Institute of Ethnology, basically dealing with films that have to do with colonialism and war. It's a screening of 7 or 8 films, and 3 or 4 of them are Palestinian, are focused on the struggle of Palestinians. And essentially, the screening that was meant to happen at the Institute, it got postponed. The government was involved. Someone from the community reported the film, and so it's been postponed to February 5th. And when it does happen on February 5th, it will be screened by the Institution of Ethnology as a bureaucratic wing of the University of Muenster.
I mean, in my view, I think that the screening had to be taken in the students' hands rather than waiting for the people from the top to decide when to screen it or how to screen it.
So we decided that we would occupy a room here in the Schloss at the heart of the university and watch the film together on our own platform, explicitly pro-Palestinian platform. So that's why we decided to screen it.
So Palestinian peoples are resisting this apartheid and settler colonialism. And the university does not want to open this question up to understand human rights in general. They would rather to delay that question, to delay people voicing their own understandings, because they want to control how the geography and how the map of the world looks. They don't want to allow people to imagine a scenario where human rights for Palestinians and for Jewish Palestinians, for Christian Palestinians, for Muslim Palestinians, for anyone living anywhere means resisting and working together on a flexible basis for what our world should look like. They don't want to have people do that because they believe that they know better than us, and they think that rooms in the university, for example, should be used to uphold what their standards are. But we don't abide by those standards.
Even so, they didn't have the authority to tell us not to screen it. We have the right to do so.
We think that the issue which is presented before us, which is the genocide of Palestinian peoples, requires us to reclaim that space and to challenge this narrative that you can simply solve historical injustices by elevating one people over another. You can't deal with the human rights of one people at the expense of another, and we reclaim university space because we want to keep that question open, whereas they want to close it. And the context is they've always canceled and shut down not just Palestinian events, but any events that really call a radical form of decolonization and liberation, which means ridding ourselves of top-down forms of decision-making and conformism to authority, which is what the university, in having its rectorate, sort of to say who can use spaces and who can't, is exactly what their agenda comprises.
I believe the screening of this film in an unrestricted space or environment where all sorts of opinions are welcomed was very important, especially when there is repression and censorship going on at university campuses here around Palestine. The film discusses very crucial issue of settler colonialism and made a fair comparison between apartheid South Africa regime and atrocities being lived by Palestinians in the occupied West Bank, Gaza and Israel. So singling out this particular film and censoring it is unfair, hypocritical, and I believe completely goes against the principle of freedom of speech.
We thought it's very important to have a free discussion at a university and not be centered by the administration of the university, who by some not real, they created a problem that was not real and said the screening should be cancelled by the cinema group, and we didn't accept that because we feel like this is a censorship, of free discussion, of the freedom of education. And so we as students thought we will organize ourselves independent from the authority and meet up and watch this film together and discuss it. And the university authorities who are agreeing with the Zionist propaganda to forbid this film are not the ones who will determine what information we will seek and what political positions we will discuss.